You can come out now, brother. How did it go? Better than we ever hoped. The rooster's dead. The madam has tasted her first blood. Amazing. Completely worth getting shot for. A meddlesome falcon tried to disrupt the execution. Falcon? Really? That tenuous wretch. Don't worry, he floundered, bumbled around hopelessly. The madam thinks he's of some use, but really he's as good as dead. Oh, that's marvelous. Every piece is falling into place. Our dream will be a reality in no time. To reason, brother. To reason. Fraternité. Ugh, you're all dead. All y'alls. All y'alls. I'm gonna murder all y'alls. I hope you don't harbor too much hate for the madam. I know the rooster was like your buddy and everything, but the madam does what she does for the good of France. Boy, oh boy. This is real awkward. Bach? Yeah, it is a bit. Maybe a round of drinks are in order. After all, it is a tavern. What do you two say? I mean no disrespect, Fontaine, but I am not thirsty. No, me neither. Oh, I get it. You're a little shaken by what just happened. Well, can we at least get you some wine? You know, just a small glass to calm your nerves. Fine, whatever. All right, cool. Piero, fetch our guests some drinks, please, since, you know, it's your round. My round? No way. It's your turn. Bach? Turns don't matter. You still owe me for that omelet I generously paid for last Friday. Yeah, well, you owe me for the coffee on Tuesday. Okay, so that's 30 cents of coffee deducted from a 60-cent omelet, plus the 25-cent peanuts you swiped from my pantry. Hold up, Bach! I ain't good at mental arithmetic. Listen, Sparrowson, you need to go. Go? Yes, I'll create a distraction. You head straight for the back door. Is that such a good idea? If we both stick around, we could both end up dead as soon as we rub that lioness the wrong way. If we both run, these two will probably shoot us in the back. So the way I see it, one of us running is the most viable option. Falcon, don't argue. Once you're out, find Valerity. Tell him what you've seen. Okay. So it's agreed. You get this round, and then I'll owe you 2 cents. Yes, and I'll hold you to them 2 cents. Bach? Be right back. Don't you two move or nothing. He'll hold me to the 2 cents. Oh, that Piero is such a miser. Anyway, I don't feel like sitting in silence. Let's talk to pass the time. Fontaine, I have a gun question. A gun question? Do go on. Muskets or pistols, iron or lead bullets, flintlock or percussion caps. What is better, flintlock or percussion cap ignition systems? What a delightful technical question. I'm afraid there's no dispute here. Percussion caps are the future, hands down. You see, flintlocks are unreliable. A little light drizzle and the ignition systems no longer function. The gun becomes worthless. But a percussion cap will always work as long as it's built correctly, and as long as the gun has enough gunpowder. I suppose there is the matter of material cost. How much does a brass cap cost compared to flint and steel? It's a little bit pricier, I think. All right, I brought drinks. 1 for me, 1 for you, 1 for you, and 1 for... Bach? Hey, where's the little one? The little one? Oh, he's right. Oh, whoops, I lost him. You lost him? How did you lose him? I was gone for 2 minutes. Bach? Oh, I think I dropped the ball on this one. I'll say, the madam's gonna string us up for sure. Bach? Actually, we should make up a cover story. We can't let her find out about this. You can't let me find out about what? I felt it wasn't right to keep Sparrowson here against his will, so I created a distraction to let him escape. It's somewhat gutsy of you to outright admit that. By rights, I should shoot you here and now. But I won't. I need a lawyer to bring our plans into fruition. That little bird was dispensable, and you are not. Madam, if Sparrowson runs to the police, then both this location and the sleeping city are compromised. We should keep this meeting brief. Agreed. Falcon, let me quickly fill you in. As you probably know, we are planning to form a protest, an enormous protest, on the 14th of this month. We intend to draw a massive crowd at the Place de la Concorde, and then we shall march against Tuileries Garden. March against Tuileries? You intend to storm the Louvre? No, the Palais Royal. That's where the king and prime minister will be residing. I would like it to go peacefully, but... Peaceful uprising have a habit of turning violent, don't they? Exactly. And we can't let the leaders of this country escape amidst the chaos. They must be tried for their crimes against the French people. On that note, I want you to lead the prosecution. You want me to prosecute the King of France. The king and the prime minister. They are both responsible for the rampant inequality that plagues this country. On the day of the revolution, we will drag both of those overpaid bourgeois onto the streets, and you shall prosecute them then and there. I think I understand. Prosecuting the pair for crimes against humanity, I suppose. It could certainly be done. If I were to interview a lot of citizens, gather a lot of evidence, file some paperwork, could probably prepare a case in around 2 months. We don't have the luxury of time. Use your ingenuity on the day, just like you did in the catacombs. You can't be serious. There's no alternative. The wheels of the revolution are already turning, and the revolution will ignite in under a week. The question on my mind is, what do we do with you until then? You can't leave him with us, ma'am. Buck? You can. Just kidding. Buck? We'll keep a good eye on him. After seeing the atrocious job you two did guarding the little bird, I think not. Just have to guard you myself, Falcon. You shall spend this week at my side while I complete our preparations. At your side. Day and night. Absolutely. I'm not going to let you out of my sight for 1 minute. That seems excessive. You can trust me, madame. No, I can't. You've promised to help me, but I know that you don't actually believe in the cause of the Second Republic. If I give you 1 grain of freedom, you will undoubtedly flee. This meeting is over. Come along, Falcon. Great. We can go to 3 places. Oh, we can also do this.
And then, while we were sitting in the tavern, Falcon gave me the opportunity to escape. He created a distraction, and I snuck away and went straight to the police. Then I called you a meeting, and, well, here I am. So yes, that is the whole story.
I see. So Severin Cocorico died at the hands of the rebels.
Yes, that's right.
And Falcon revealed his true colors as a traitor.
A traitor? No, that's not right, Inspector. Falcon's not a rebel. He's just playing along so he can save his own life.
Don't be so naive, Sparrowson. Put the puzzle pieces together. Falcon willingly leapt into the lion's den for the specific purpose of siding with the rebels. He let you escape because he could see you weren't truly sympathetic to the rebel cause.
That doesn't make sense at all. Falcon's never shown a rebellious streak.
Tell me, Sparrowson, what do you know about Falcon's past?
Oh, not a lot. He's a private person.
Has he ever told you what he did during the July Revolution, before he changed his name?
No, he hasn't told me anything, really.
Sparrowson, let me tell you about the man they call the Viridian Killer. No! I'm not a murderer! Fucking fuck! This goddamn rooster is trying to ruin my life. What a piece of shit. What a big poop. Alright. Okay. Palais Royale. The Market. Tuileries Garden. A beautiful spot to relax, have a picnic, or plan for a violent uprising. Le Hall, huh? Let me guess. You have a weapons supplier somewhere around here. Maybe this is where you plan on meeting an informant, a government defector. It's as good a meeting spot as any. Actually, I'm here for groceries. There's no need for that look. You think that just because I'm a gun-toting rebel, I don't need to buy food.
Membre.
Well, well, if it isn't Sauternes and little Gambad. You're growing bigger every time I see you.
Ma'am, you have to hear this. Something big went down here yesterday. A policeman! A nasty, ugly policeman!
Let me guess, he was bullying people into revealing secrets on the whereabouts of the revolutionaries.
Well, that is how it started, ma'am. Same old bullying tactics. He was pushing around this old beggar rat who hangs around the market sometimes. But then, when the rat wasn't speaking up, the policeman drew his gun and shot him.
The policeman shot a beggar just like that?
Yes, but then the coward cop went and ran before we could turn on him.
Oh, I find that difficult to believe. A policeman wouldn't openly shoot a beggar without cause. Open your eyes, Falcon. This is the regime us Parisians live under. We are ignored by the government, oppressed by the police, and hanged by the courts. What do you think I'm fighting so hard to make a change? We can't put up with this sort of bullying. No, this can't be right. Something has to be missing from Sultan's story. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, madame?
Oh, sure. Ask away.
Make it quick, Falcon. What did the policeman look like? What did the policeman look like?
Well, I didn't get a good look, but he was tall and ugly and mean-looking, and he had one eye.
One eye?
Oh, yes, he had one of them pirate patches.
Oh, there's no way. Ring any bells, Falcon? I know a man who fits the description, but it simply couldn't be him. He's a bitter individually, but he's morally righteous. I can't imagine him shooting an innocent person so recklessly. Don't let your bias toward the justice system affect your judgment, Falcon. If you think you know who did this, please name and shame him. I think I should bite my tongue until I'm a little more certain.
Did you want to know anything else, monsieur?
If a policeman did shoot an innocent person, there would surely be an investigation. Your naivety knows no bounds, Falcon. You think the police care if one of their own is out of control?
Actually, there was one bloke asking around, but I don't think he was a policeman.
Oh, do go on, madam.
Well, he was this charming fox.
Oh, Reynard. A friend of yours, Falcon? Something like that. We should probably pay him a visit to see what he's up to. Pay him a visit? I suppose we can set aside a little time.
Did you want something else?
Just who was this beggar rat?
I didn't really know him well, monsieur. None of us did. He was kind of a loner who hung around asking for scraps of food and cents. I don't even know his name.
That is so sad. Did he have no family? No means of support? Falcon, do you have any idea how many beggars there are in the streets of Paris? How many people go hungry? How many people are forced to turn to crime? I am well aware, madam. I'm asking these questions to see if there was perhaps some reason why that particular rat was killed. But no, it appears this was just the loss of one unnamed beggar rat among many. It's very tragic.
That it is, monsieur. Is there any other way I can help?
That is all, madam. Thank you for your help.
No problem. Anything to have Ma'am Beaumont.
Well, we'll try to get to the bottom of this, Sultan. Just make sure to stay safe when the revolution starts. Stay inside. Keep Gumbad safe.
Of course, madame. You stay safe yourself, you hear?
Alright, let's go see our fox bro.
Visitors, Monsieur Phelps. Visitors.
Really, Falcon? What do you hope to accomplish in this sleazy back alley establishment? Sleazy? Madame, my back alley office is perhaps a little cluttered and eccentric, but I resent the accusation of sleaze. Maybe I should do the introductions. Monsieur Volpe, this is Madame Beaumont, a, friend of mine. Madame, this is Reynard Volpes, private investigator at your service. It is a pleasure to meet you, madame. Oh, how stoic. I'm sure you have some pressing question to ask Falcon, but before we get started, there is something I must tell you. Monsieur Sparrowson dropped by earlier and informed me of your situation. Sparrowson? Is he all right? Oh yes, he's now working with Inspector Valerti, attempting to unravel the rebel plot. Just as I thought. It appears your lackey has solidified his position as a traitor to the Second Republic, Falcon. Perhaps. Perhaps not. Sparrowson doesn't strike me as a person who sides with any ideology, but you know, he asked me the most peculiar question. Would you like to know what it was? Of course. Such information is quite valuable. It would cost, say, 30 francs. I mean, I probably know what he asked. What else am I gonna use my money on anymore? Fine, whatever. Yes, I know how this works, so here's your money. Very good, so, on to the question. Sparrowson asked if you were the Viridian Killer, the one responsible for the random bombings during the July Revolution 18 years ago. Why on earth would he ask that? Perhaps the inspector has been telling him stories. So, what did you tell him? The truth, of course. That is that I have no idea who the Viridian Killer is, but that I knew it couldn't possibly be Falcon. Oh, and how do you know I'm not the Viridian Killer? Falcon, please. You're a semi-drunk, bumbling oaf, not a ruthless killer. Anyway, I've started my own investigation into the Viridian Killer, and it's fascinating stuff. Apparently, he was seen in multiple places at once, which leads some to believe that he was actually more than one person. And do you know why they call him, or should I say them, the Viridian Killer? Well, Viridian is a greenish color, isn't it? I don't have a clue. Crimson Killer would be a much cooler name. It appears no one knows the origins of the name, which leads me to suspect that he, or indeed they, chose their own name. This is all fascinating, so fascinating. Perhaps we can return to the conversation of why we're here. Oh, of course. Monsieur Volpes, we heard you were investigating the murder at Les Halles. I was. That victim was a friend of Mousie's.
More of an acquaintance, really.
Well, we want to know if you managed to uncover anything. Did you find any leads, any juicy clues? Not as such. It's quite a peculiar case. Did you hear the murderer wore an eye patch? I did. You know what that implies, don't you, Falcon? You only know of one police officer, or indeed one person, who wears an eye patch. This motherfucker. The inspector. That can't be right. You wouldn't describe him as a murderous man, would you, Monsieur Volpes? Murderous? I don't know. He's certainly passionate about finding the Viridian Killer. Who's to say he wouldn't kill in the pursuit of his arch-enemy? Falcon, I want to solve this mystery as much as you do, but time is pressing and we have other matters to attend to. We must take our leave. Understood. Until next time, Monsieur Volpes. Goodbye, and good luck, Mr. Falcon. It was a pleasure meeting you, madame. Actually, wait, I'm wondering if I fucked up there. Do I know somebody else with only one eye? This guy always never shows his eyes, but anyway, alright.
And Monsieur Volpes, that lioness looked pretty angry. Is this revolution going to end in blood, Monsieur Volpes? Just like in 1830?
I mean, probably. Probably. Palais Royal. The Tuileries. The Palais Royal. Just look at that disgusting den of fat cat bourgeois and hypocritical politicians. The king is probably in there as we speak. Probably sitting in his high chair, stuffing his bloated face with cake and wine while he boasts about being the perfect citizen king. Did you come here just to moan about the king? No, I've come to assess the potential battleground. On the day of the rebellion, I might order Piero to set up a barricade over there. What do you think? There, right outside the Palais Royal. Of course. The perfect place for a defensive garrison. We can gather furniture from nearby buildings, build a wall, and position rifles to fend off the police. When the time is right, it will serve as the ideal location to launch our assault on the palace. So you aren't just throwing empty words at the tavern. You actually do intend on dragging the king out of the palace through violence. Of course. He will never abdicate of his own volition. It's not as if I want to see bloodshed, Falcon. It's necessary. It's inevitable. I mean, we do have to be realistic. There's no way to bring change to a country without violence, is there?
I think there are ways.
I think there are ways. People look back on the violent moments of history, the executions, the wars, the bloody revolutions. But who's to say that a country could not be overturned just through the chance of the people? A pacifist revolution. Interesting. I would love for such a thing to be possible. It is possible. Not Ukraine. Estonia did it. We could have a singing revolution. Maybe it would be better to avoid building the barricades, at least until it's clear that violence is inevitable. That's good. That is a good compromise, madam. Alright, let's go to the garden. Let me think. Takes 10 minutes to walk from the Place de la Concorde to this very spot. And the Palais Royal lies 5 minutes north of here. But the crowd will be fairly large and slow. It may take twice, maybe 3 times as long to make the move. Having a logistics problem, madam. Perhaps the plan is to walk the crowd from here through Tuileries to the Palais Royal. But if we take too long to pass through Tuileries, the police... Is it Tuileries? With no S? I'm trying to think if you would pronounce the S. It's been a long time since I had French class. Police will trap us in. We could be flanked and slaughtered. Well, that is quite an issue. Why not run? No, that's not the answer. Go around the garden. Or meet at the palace. Yeah, what's the point in going through the garden? Tuileries. No S at the end. Yeah. Why not just go around Tuileries? There's a nice wide main road that leads straight to the palace front door. You can avoid the gardens entirely. Marching across the gardens makes for a better political statement, but I can't fault your reasoning. Going around would diminish our chances of being stopped and trapped. I'll pass the idea along to Piero and see what he has to say. He's the one in charge of leading the crowds, after all. That bird-brained parrot would probably just shoot the idea down. Probably, but I appreciate your input. I don't know if you genuinely want to help, or if you're just telling me what I want to hear out of fear, but thank you. It is no problem, madame. For the Second Republic, am I right? Right. For the Second Republic. Okay. This is it, Falcon. This is the day we make our stand. Everything is coming together. As we speak, Fontaine is gathering protesters at the Place de la Concorde. Piero is making preparations to build and arm a barricade near the Palais Royal. Just as a precaution, you understand. The only question that remains is, are you ready? Nope. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. Orion Blarg said, a fun fact, the streets of Paris are laid out in such a fashion so that there are clear shots on rioters and invading armies. They redrew the streets after too many revolts, I think is how you would say that. Interesting. Sure, let's just fucking do it. We're doing it regardless, right? Absolutely. Bring on the revolution, I say. That's the spirit. Come on, let's see how the protest is going. Falcon and Beaumont arrive at the Place de la Concorde. The air is thick with the chants, shouts, and cheers of hundreds of protesters. A line of mounted soldiers stand shoulder to shoulder outside the entrance to Tuileries. This is amazing. I had no idea the Second Republic had this many supporters. Of course. You didn't think we were just a few animals huddling in a cave, did you? The desire for revolution runs deep in the city.
Everything is in place at the Palais Royal, ma'am. Say the word, and we'll set up the biggest barricade you've ever seen. Then we can all storm the building and drag that cocky king out of his chair.
There's been a change of plans. We're going to protest, but we're going to do it peacefully. No firing from behind barricades, no violence, no capturing the king or prime minister.
Madam, are you feeling all right?
Quite all right, thank you.
But what about your desire for a better France?
You can't achieve that without bloodshed. We can certainly try. Falcon has convinced me. Falcon? Pacifism seems like the Christian approach, wouldn't you say, Friar? I see. So that's how it's gonna be. Excuse me, madam. I think the Friar disapproves of the new strategy. Probably thinks I've gone soft. Maybe I have. I'm not deviating from this path, even if each and every rebel leaves my side. Don't worry, ma'am. You are not alone. Block? We're not here for the violence, madam. As long as you strive for a better France, we will stand with you. Ugh, this stupid bullet wound. I knew it was you, you piece of shit! Damn thing's opened up again. What news, brother? Is everything in place? Well, we have a problem. Mademoiselle refuses to use violence. She's turning timid. Turning timid? How? It appears that lawyer Falcon is something of a lion tamer. JJ Falcon. That bird is proving to be more trouble than the rooster, I swear. Brother, listen. There's no violence, there will be no power gap. One leader will just peacefully replace another. We need chaos for our plan to work. Well, guess we'll follow through with our contingency strategy. I'll find the victim, and you find the suspect. Don't push yourself, brother. You're still injured. Fuck! What are you guys doing, you pieces of shit? Look at those scum, foul vermin, the lot of them. Mark my words, Sparrowson, every one of these petulant dissenters will take the first opportunity to turn aggressive. They lust for violence.
Oh, they don't look too violent to me.
Trust me. It's just how the crowd looked before the July Revolution. It only takes one crazed individual and the entire crowd will explode into a frenzy.
Oh, it's you!
Friar, good to see you again. No time for pleasantries, Inspector. You needed urgently on the Place de la Concorde. Me? Why not ask for one of the officers on active guard duty? There's no time to explain. Any minute now. Ah, do you hear that gunshot? It's already begun. Come on, Inspector. We gotta make haste.
Inspector, I really don't think you should be trusting the Friar. He's a two-faced wolf.
Frere Remus has provided me with reliable information in the past. I trust his judgment.
But, Inspector!
This isn't up for discussion, Sparrowson. I have a duty to uphold. Stay put. I'll be back in no time at all.
But, oh, what should I do now?
Poor Sparrowson. A gunshot. Nearby as well. So the Friar was right. Violence really is an inevitability. Oh, we haven't reached that stage yet, madame. I can't afford to take chances. Not now. Piero, march the crowd to the Palais Royal and construct the barricade. Yes, ma'am. Bach? Fontaine, Falcon. We're going to find the source of the disturbance.